Good morning, students. So welcome back to your online class. In the last class, we have started with a new chapter called Bhakti Panth, right? Yes. So today, we are going to continue the chapter. Okay, in the last class, we have taught you about Ramananda and Kabir, right? And today's class, we are going to teach you about the Chaitanya. Chaitanya is a guru, okay, is a social reformer who just lived between 1486 to 1533 CE. Chaitanya was one of the famous saints of the Bhakti movement, and he was born in a Brahmin family in Nadia of Bengal. Where did he born? He born to a Nadia family of Bengal, okay, and he took a diksha at the age of 25. You know, he have taken a diksha at the age of 25 and become the disciple of Sri Krishna Panth. He lived in Mathura and Vrindavan for many years. He preached that difference of caste can be removed by the discipline and the man becomes pure through the devotion. And he popularized the worship of Krishna and he composed many devotional songs in praise of Krishna. He opposed the caste system and attempted to bring about the sense of brotherhood among the people. And his philosophy, thoughts, and teachings are collected in the book called Chaitanya Charitramrita. What is the book which is written by Chaitanya? It is Chaitanya Charitramrita. It's important one. Chaitanya was lived between 1486 to 1533 CE. Okay, and the book, famous book which he has written called Chaitanya Charitamrita. And in that book, which consists of entire of his teachings. Next comes your Guru Nanak. Guru Nanak was lived between, is the third one, and the fourth one was Guru Nanak. And he was just lived between 1469 to 1539 CE. Okay, the another advocate of Bhakti movement was Guru Nanak, and who had a religious learning right from the childhood. From his very childhood days, he just started to read all these books and all these things. Okay, and he was born in Talaivandi, where birthplace of Guru Nanak. It was at Talaivandi, which was in Pakistan now. And actually, this place in Pakistan right now. And after traveling around the many years, he established a religious center in Kharagpur on river banks, and he made his followers to sit and eat together, irrespective of caste and creed. And he started a langar community and a kitchen where the food is prepared, catered to all, and this becomes a sacred place for the followers. It was later called as Gurudwaras, and he preached the God as the opposite idol of the worship, and he emphasized the good deed and the moral life. And the followers from Hindu as well as the Muslim communities, his followers were called Sikhs. And his preachings were compiled in Guru Granth Sahib. All his teachings were compiled in which book? It is called Guru Granth Sahib. Okay, and it is called as Adi Ranganath by Sikhs. What it is called by Sikhs people? It is also called as Adi Granth. Sorry, Adi Granth. That means the first Granth which is compiled of all his teachings of do's and don'ts. And it kept a Gurudwaras and worshipped by them. And what was the temple was called as? The temple was called as a Gurudwara. Next, we are going to study about Mirabai. Mirabai. The other name of Bhakti movement is Mirabai, and who was princess of Mewar. Who was she? She was a princess of Mewar dynasty, and she renounced a life of luxury and became the most a devoted follower of Lord Krishna. Though she was married to a Rajput prince, she left all worldly things and became the disciple of Ravidasa, the saint who was born in the untouchable caste. And she composed songs of devotion towards the Krishna, and this is called bhajans. She started to sing a song for Lord Krishna to show her devotee, and that devotional songs are said to be what? Bhajans. She criticized the claim of superior status of the high caste people in bhajans. And these bhajans are very popular even today in Rajasthan and Gujarat states. Like this, the many reformers tried to bridge the gap between the religious caste in the different parts of India. Next comes your Vithoba temple of Pandrapur on the banks of river Krishna, the Bhima in Maharashtra. This was the center for the Bhakti movement. The Jnaneshwar and Namadeva, Ekanath, Tukaram and Ramdas were the famous saints of this new sect. Purandaradasa and Kanakadasa also foremost among the Bhakti movement in Karnataka, and this path is called as Dasa Parampara. They just offered these songs, the devotional songs, devotional lines in the form of songs, and that has popular eyes like a Dasa Parampara. Dasa means, telling Kirtanas. Kirtana means what? The bhajans, which is dedicated to Lord, gods. Got it? And next comes your Sufi saints. The Sufi saints arrived from the Persia and settled in different parts of India. They are called as pure. Pure means what? A teacher. Since they wear the clothes of woolen cloths called safs, and these Muslim saints were called Sufis. And they preached that it is possible to reach a God. What did they do is they started to preach to reach a God, that means Allah, through the love and devotion. What should be there to reach the God? The love and devotion should be there to reach the God. That is the pure form of devotion. They emphasize the importance of respecting the people in all classes. What they say is that all people are same. They just gave the equal respect to everyone. And they believe that dance and music filled with the devotion takes us the closer to the God. Telling kirtanas and dedicating them all the kirtanas through the dancing way, it helps to reach a God with the short distance. And they composed many songs in Urdu and Hindi, the proclaim of importance of the devotion. The poetic works called Mirgavati and Kubitan and Padmavati of Malik Muhammad Jaisi uphold the Sufi philosophy. The Sufi cult has been present in all over the India, and there are around 12 different groups among Sufis. The four among them were the important, like Bidar, Kalburgi, Vijaypura and other places of northern Karnataka are the important place of Sufis. Both Hindus and Muslims take a part in the religious ceremony called Hurs and take place in these centers, and these rituals are much alive even today. And the Sufis, they have got a different way of expressing the devotion in the form of dance, and they don't have the high and low, nothing as such. All they treat is same. And today also we can see in the northern part of the Karnataka where we have got the Sufi saints. Got it? Next, Shashinala Sharifa. You would have been heard his name, Shashinala Sharifa. Sharifa was lived between 1819 to 1889 CE. Imam and Ujjum were his parents, and he was born in Shashinala at present Singavi Taluk of Gadag district in 1819 CE. Imam named son called the Muhammad Sharif. What was his Imam name called? Muhammad Sharif, as per the suggestion of Kaji. Sharif was a Parsi word. What is Sharif? It's a Parsi word, and it means the man who has ideal goals of the man of the worth and respect by all. That means a man who has born and brought up with her ideal goals, and people they respect them. The Sharif grew up a worthy man, just like his name. The Sharif was influenced by Islam. What culture he was just got influenced? He had just got influenced by the Islam, that is Veerashaiva and Vedic philosophies from the young age. Govinda Bhatta, a knowledge person, became a guru. He opened a school of children to Shashinada to provide the education to them. What did he do, Shashinada Sharifa? Just to open a school to educate the people, children. And he educated, providing the holistic visions of the life of the students. What we aimed is, he just gave the education so that he thought that, that is the aim of each and every person should get in this life. The Sharif, who was always interested to move around with the people, participated in all phase dramas and various other religious, the festivals that he arranged around Shashinada. And he became Arbinger and revived literature, which is part of Moram celebration too. Understood? He just wandered with the people. He participated in all kind of cultural activities, dramas, all sort of things. And he also written a work of, Revivata literature, which is there in Moram celebration. Got it? So next comes the poet or a reformer called Purandara Dasa. Was lived between 1484 to 1564 CE. Purandara Dasa, as I told you, all these dasas, they bought a worshipped form, or they just created awareness among the people, and they just gave the literature called Dasa Parampare. And it is also says that it is the kirtanas which they gave the literature. The literature were in the form of kirtanas, and which is dedicated to the gods, and it could be for the moral life, or it could be their ideals, goals, what they wanted to teach the society. They just bought into this Dasa Kirtanas. So first, one among them of Dasa were the Purandara Dasa. Purandara Dasa was praised by Vyasaraya as a Dasa among all Dasas. What did Vyasaraya says for this Purandara Dasa? He is the famous and important Dasa among all Dasas. In every Dasa, this Purandara Dasa is very important, he says. He has contributed immensely to the tradition of Bhakti poetry with his Vaishnava influenced Bhakti poems. And he is called the founding father of Carnatic music. What is called as? He is called as founding father of Carnatic music. Okay, the Purandara Dasa was born in the wealthy family of Purandaragat of present Maharashtra. Varadappa Nayaka and Lakshmi Devi were his parents. Who were the parents? The parents were called Varadappa Nayaka and Lakshmi Devi. And his first name was Sinappa Nayaka. What was the early name of Purandara Dasa? It was Sinappa Nayaka. And the gold trader by profession. What was he? He was a gold trader by profession. Sinappa Nayaka was also known for his business acumen and influence encouraged by his wife Saraswati Bai. Sinappa Nayaka treated a path of spirituality. Because of his wife, he just entered into the spirituality. Purandara Dasa preached Madhva philosophies with his called Kirtanas and traveled to many places and visited Tirupati, Srirangapatana, Harunagiri, Udupi, Kanchi, Kanakachala, Kashi, Kumbhakona, Kadalipura, Astagiri, Kalasti, Sri Shaila, Gatikachala, Gadar, Harihara, Beluru, Munru, Melkote, Hampi, Harihara, and the various other sacred places where spread the message of Bhakti to the common people. Those are all the places which is there in our Karnataka itself. We just wandered from place to place to perform as Kirtanas. The Purandara Dasa, apart from his expressing importance of devotion as per the Vaishnava's sect, he expressed his own concerns of false worship and the philosophy of the life. And he also says that, what the worship we were doing, that was a false worship. And he just shared his goals, what he tend to tell in the Kirtanas, in the form of Kirtanas. Okay. And he criticized the caste and creed based on discrimination. What did he do? He just criticized all this discrimination which was there in society: caste, creed, high class, low class, dark skin, white skin, upper class, lower. All this were discriminated in his Kirtanas, and he rejected the false bhakti and insisting the inner reflection. Whatever the outer case of the bhakti we show towards the God, it just refused it, and it should be present in our inner things. That he says, He declared without an impurity of the external purity is no use. If there is no purity inside our soul, the external purity, how much ever if we showcase to the people also, it is waste. So what we have to have, we should have internal purity first. Only then the external appearance or the external purity can be shown. Or else keeping all sort of things inside and showing only exhibiting the outside appearance to the society, that is not the purity. Understood? And which is not accepted by God also. He said that what is the use of cleaning the external filth without cleansing the internal filth? And he also says that without a faith, the mere dipping in a river is no of use. He said one has to stay alive and emerge victorious. The human birth is great, never spoil it. Oh fools! Like this, he sowed the seeds of the faith in the human life and its worthiness and become the beacon of the life of satisfaction. All his considerable knowledge has become the unpunished of the Purandaradasa and earned the name called Dasa, means Purandaradasa. Because of all this thing, he has got the name as Dasa. Dasa means Purandaradasa. That means Dasa andre Purandaradasaru anta heli ಒಂದು verdict ತಗೊಳ್ತಾರೆ ಇಡೀ society this Purandaradasa. Understood? So next comes Kanakadasa. And again the Kanakadasa. The parents of Kanakadasa were Veerappa and Bachamma, and they were Sri Vaishnavites by faith. What were they? They are Vishnu followers by faith, and they wanted to become their child in the name of family deity's name, and they are named as Timmappa. So there was a thing. Nowadays also we also have that manelu modal huttidanta maguge or mane devru ಹೆಸರಿಡ್ತಾರೆ. So like this, even this Kanakadasa parents were also, Veerappa and Bachamma, because they were the followers of Lord Vishnu deity. So the first born kid to their family should be named in the name of the Vishnu name. So they just renamed, the child name as Timmappa. So once the Timmappa came across a huge deposit of gold hidden deep in earth, the people called him Kanaka. It just came across and it just showed the where exactly the gold as there inside the earth. So Kanaka means what in Kannada? It's gold. Kanaka means chinna. So like that, that is how it is said as Kanakadasa, built by the temple of Adikesha in Kaginalle from his treasure. Kanaka was a local chieftain of the Beda and Bankapura, and as well as the worst in war techniques. Once he was mortally wounded with a war, and this led to him a question of very existence of the life, its meaning. And it says that incident made him follow the Dasa Panth and he became a Kanakadasa. Kanakadasa put his efforts to remove the discrimination based on caste, creed, and bhakti sayings. Even he is also the same kind of a reformer where he just criticized all this caste, creed, and he just perform his duty in form of Dasa Kirtanas. He criticized mere show of bhakti and he preached that people could attain moksha only through bhakti, and he broke a belief propagated by the priest class in order to attain moksha, and one has to be born in the higher caste through his kirtanas. Kanakadasa, who was the poet, he has created the literature along with meaningful kirtanas. Which are the kirtanas is written by is, he wrote Mohana Tarangini, Nalacharitre, Ramadhyana Charitre, Aribhakti Sara. These are all the kirtanas books what he has written, and which shows that all are one. So the thing we have to perform is the pure bhakti to attain moksha. Understood? So what are the total effects of bhakti movement? Here it could be, Ramananda, it could be Chaitanya, it could be Mirabai or Shishnala Sharif or Dasas. What did they give to the society? What are the effects of it? See, reformation of Hindu practices can bring out harmony between Hindus and Muslims. One thing they noticed, they just bought the harmony between the Hindus and Muslims, and they were the main purpose of Bhakti movement. That was the main thing of the Bhakti movement. Why? Because from morning till evening, if we end up by fighting Hindus and Muslims, do we have the unity in India? Can India become a secular country or democratic country and emphasize with all the religious? No. So through this, what we attained is we just attained the unity among the Hindus and Muslims. And they were the main purpose of Bhakti movement. And the reformers were successful in removing the many weaknesses in Hindu society. The regional language of India flourished since the reformer wrote these languages. These enabled the development of Indian culture, and this movement facilitated the evolution of Indian culture. And this also made India to be identified as the multicultural. And through this, India has been identified as multicultural country. Understood? Where we give each and every space for the work, religions, any kind of a caste, creed. Through this, we attain what? Unity among diversity with all religions. Okay. So can we end up today's class through this so that we have finished completing the Bhakti Panth in today's sessions, and in our next sessions, I'll be going with Europe in the Middle Ages. So this is the very easiest lesson, students, where we can understand. So it's Europe in Middle Ages. We have to finish this lesson, and we have left with another few lessons like modern Europe, revolution of unifications of nation we have to do, and we are supposed to do with business studies, right? So financial management and accounting in business I'm supposed to do for you. So these 4 lessons have to complete. So if I complete these 4 lessons, so I'll be able to give you the notes, right? So meanwhile, so what I'm thinking for you people is, so hereafter, see, next class I'm going to do the explanation itself, Europe in Middle Ages. Post explanation of this class, okay, I'm going to mark the 3 lessons question answers in the live class itself, like this recorded class itself. So I'll tell you which paragraph the first answer is. I'll just write the things on the board so that based on that, you are going to copy the answers to your classworks. So instead of writing everything and giving in a PDF, I believe this helps you to read once again the textbook and do the things, right? So not in this class, but after finishing this Europe in Middle Ages, I'm going to give you the notes and record it in this type of a class itself. So be tentative and take out your pencils, erasers in our next class so that I'm going to mark you the question answers post explaining this Europe in Middle Ages. Hope so you have understood today's class, and thank you for the session, students. Let us meet in our next class with the Europe in Middle Ages. Thank you. Have a great day.